Hi there, Stampers. It's Linda Schmitt with Stampin' with the Hounds. I am starting a new fun fold series. This time I am going to be focusing on the gatefold and all the different variations that you can do with a gatefold. So as a little refresher for some of you who may be new to stamping, and it's always good for some of us who've been around for a while to get a refresher. So your gatefold is basically a fold that you bring in your two panels to meet in the middle. So the portrait one takes a half a sheet of cardstock, which is 5.5 by 8.5. And then you're going to score it 2 1/8 from either end, and then those fold in. And then you can just go to town on decorating and stuff. And a lot of times you'll have like a focal point just to kind of keep these in, or you can make a belly band that slides on to the card to keep it closed. But I tend to don't do belly bands just because I'm not I'm not always a fan of them. But anyway, that's the portrait. And then the landscape gatefold, this is the standard one, is 4 1/4 by 11, and you'll score it 2 3/4 from either end. So from there, taking these basic folds, you can just go to town on all the different variations of a gatefold. So we are going to be doing the gatefold pop-up, which is going to be using some designer series paper, and then you're going to be doing some trim. You'll need your paper trimmer and a scoring blade to doing all of this. But this is the one where it kind of pops up, so it folds flat. And then when you open it, these pop out, and then the center part pops out. So you can decorate all these little panels with designer series paper if you want, or you can just leave them blank. And then the back, I kind of continued that pattern and did some of that. And then this is where I would put my message on there for writing it. Or you can have, because this doesn't affect it, you can have like, see here, I've got that punch kind of overlapping a little bit. That's fine because it's not going to impede with the movement. So you can do that too. You can add a punch as well. But this one is using Wild Ferns, which is a current set that is carrying over to our May 1 tomorrow. The annual catalog kicks off. And then this is retiring after today. This is that Poetic Expressions designer series paper, but super fun. So that's one sample using it. And then the one that we're going to do today will be a version of this one. And this is using new products from the 2024-25 annual catalog from Stampin' Up. So this set is Seaside Wishes. And then the designer series paper is Country Woods, which comes in a 12 by 12 pack. And there's all these really pretty textured wood, I kind of call it like my beach, or like your old like farmhouse kind of colors and stuff. So it's really pretty. Got a lot of the some of the new colors, the Summer Splash is one of the new colors that's kind of in this paper pack. And then it has like that petal pink, Misty, is it Misty Moonlight? Yes, Misty Moonlight. Some of our new color, which is that basic beige, which is what my card base is, and some Pool Party. I think it's got like some crumb cake. So it's got a lot of good neutral colors that go with it. So on this one, we've got our gatefold again popping out. And I've done a little bit of foil on that center part. I decorated my panels all with that new paper. And then the back, again, I just left this part for my sentiment or for where I'll sign it and stuff. So this is a really, really fun new set. So this is going to be the one we're going to be making today. And then the other ones, just to give you a little sneak peek of what's coming down the road. These won't be the exact sample I'm doing. These are just ones I was practicing with. So we've got this is a double gatefold, and there's a bunch of versions on how to do this double gatefold. So this one is using cardstock. You can also do this same one with designer series paper. And this is another new set. This is called Under the Moon, which could be available tomorrow. So this one, I got my card base using the designer series paper. And this paper is actually on the clearance rack. It's a huge stack of paper. Oh my gosh, what was in here? It was like, it's called Dandy Designs. And it had 48 sheets. So it's enough to last you a lifetime. Hence why I still have some. So I was glad they brought it back on the clearance rack. But again, so that's another way of using up your designer series paper and doing a really fun, nice kind of fold. So that's the double gatefold. And then this one was with the cardstock using that new Seaside Wishes. And then this one, I just decorated the panels, and then you just leave the back blank. So that's a double gatefold. And then there's also, oops, sorry, didn't mean to bump the camera there. There's also variations on that double gatefold, which I'll be showing you too. And so again, these are going to be using designer series paper. So on this one, we're cutting at an angle, and then that piece that we cut off, we attach on that front flap. So this is another one using that Seaside Wishes. Isn't that a beautiful sand dollar? I just love it. And then it opens up. And again, you just put cardstock in that base just to give it a little bit of support, but otherwise it's just designer series paper. So that's another one. It's kind of like a diamond double gatefold is kind of what I'll probably end up calling it. And then another version, you take and you're cutting more of an at an angle versus where this one was just a short little corner that got cut off. If you kind of look at it here, it kind of changes how much more I'm cutting off. So there, as I said, there's tons of versions on all of this. And again, that piece that you cut off, you then attach to the inside. So that's another version of it using that Seaside Wishes. And this is a non-Stampin' Up bottle that I had, but I kind of did some alcohol ink on there to give it that sea glass look. And then this is the retiring Seasons of Chic, I think, or something like that. That's on the retiring after April 30th. But anyway, so that's another one kind of using up some retired paper, but just to kind of show you that version. And then, so doing this one, my first time I made it, I actually cut it wrong. So this has got a deeper angle, and then it's not cutting up here, but it still works. So I, you know, my goof up, I made another new fold using it. So you could still fix your mistakes. So that's another kind of fun one. And then these are just some samples. They're not a fun fold, but it is with that new set that we'll be using today, this Seaside Wishes. So that's just the sand dollars. And this is a hybrid embossing folder. So it embosses and die cuts at the same time. And so that's kind of just a fun one. I was just playing around, and then I did a little bit of that gilded leafing, which is retiring. And then here's another one. My other series that I'll be doing are variations on a Z fold. So that'll be coming up after I finish my gatefold one. So again, this is using that Seaside Wishes, and then I used up some retired scraps of designer series paper that I had, and I did that scrappy strip technique, which is another fun one. So I'll do a tutorial on that as well. But there's that Z fold. So that'll be coming up. And again, there's tons of different ways you can do Z folds. So we are going to get started with our gatefold pop-up for today. And so what you're going to need is a half a sheet of cardstock, which is going to be 5.5 by 8. So it's not 8.5, so it's 5.5 by 8. And then we're going to score at 2 inches, and then we're going to score at 6. And then depending on if you like to use your paper trimmer, or if you're just using a scoring palette, I do a variety of both. So I'm going to show you how then we do the different cuts and stuff, but I'll just kind of, and then these are just the measurements on all of the panels that are kind of marked in pencil. So what I'll do is I will make a PDF of this. And if you join my Stampin' with the VIP Hounds Facebook group page, you can download that PDF file once I get that uploaded. So we're going to start, like I said, with that card base. And I need scoring. All right, so our card base will be that 5.5 by 8. You're then going to need your panels for front and back, because I like to decorate both sides. So you're going to need 4 of them, and I do 2 patterns. So they're all going to be 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. And like I said, those are going to be those panels. So inside, or I'm sorry, outside and inside panels. So you need 4 of them. And like I said, you can do 2 patterns. So we got that. And then for the little pop-out pieces, so these are the ones that are kind of more of the rectangles. Those you're going to need 8 of them, or if you don't want to decorate the back, just cut 4. But each of those are 1 3/4 by 1 1/4, and I'm just doing designer series paper for all of them. And then your center panel, that one you can do, you know, designer series paper, you can texturize it, you can use some specialty paper, or you can just do cardstock, and you'll need 2 of them because again, you're decorating the front, and then this is the back for your message. So those are both 1 3/4 by 2 1/4. And then these are optional, but if you want to decorate them, these are the little rectangle side ones. And again, I did front and back, and I did 2 patterns, or you can do all the same. I just had scraps that I was using. So again, you'll need 4 of those. And again, they can be the same pattern, or they can be 2 different patterns. So if you do 2 different patterns, you would just need 2 of each. So these are both 3/4 of an inch by 2 1/4 on that. And that's all the pieces. So lots of pieces, but again, they're scraps. So it's kind of a great way to use up your scraps on this card. So we are going to start with the scoring. So this is kind of it's kind of hard to see, but this is my sample. Just in case I mess up, I've got to back up with it. So like I said, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to, on the 8-inch side, we are going to score at 2 inches and 6 to begin with. So I'm going to score and bring this down just a little bit here. So we're going to do 2 inches and 6 inches. Okay. Then I rotate it so that now we're on the 5.5-inch side. We're going to line up this corner so that it is at the 4-inch mark. And we are going to cut from the first score line down to the second score line. So we're going this way here. I'm cutting from here down to here, and then I'll rotate it, and I'll do the same thing. Line this up at 4, and then bring your cutting blade down to here, to the first score line, and you're going to cut to the second score line on it. So again, keeping that corner of my paper at 4 inches, I'm going to bring my blade, and so on my little blade, I've got a little line here that tells me where my blade is going to be starting. So I'm going to start that right on that score line, and I'm going to cut down to the second. So I'm going to cut down to the 6-inch mark on the ruler guide. And where that line is where I'm stopping on that score line. Okay, so then I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to do the same thing. Line that corner up at 4. I'm going to bring my cutting blade down to this 2-inch on my ruler here. So now it's lined up with that score line, and I'm going to cut down to the 6-inch mark on my ruler. And then stop right at that score line. Okay, so now we have those 2 cuts. Now we need to make this score line here so that that mountain part pops up. So again, we're going to score, and right here, because this is right in the middle, we're going to score right at that 4 inches, and I'm only going to stop to the cut line. So we're going to score right at the 4 and then stop at the cut line. We're going to flip it and do the same thing. Start at the 4, score down to the cut line, and stop. Okay, and then from here, because we need to get down to make these score lines, okay, so on this one, what I do is it's going to be, I think it was the 3-inch mark. Yeah, I'm going to line it up at the 3, but I'm not scoring here. I'm going to start the scoring here. So if you're using your Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer, you could just line that up at the 3 and then just score it. But I'm not using a Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer, so I'm going to modify it just a touch here, just to give me a guide. I'm just going to take my ruler. So I'm at the 3, and it's just so that I can find where that scoring part is. So here's my 3, and I'm just going to score right on there. And then again, I'll flip it over. I just find it's easier if I just flip it. And I'll just find where my 3-inch groove is. And then, oops, and I got off. Oops. Well, all right. Where's my groove? There it is. I'll just kind of go back over that. Okay, and then I do sometimes like to go back. Okay, so these are going to be coming in. I'm going to go back and flip it over. And on some of these, I'm just going to score again, just to help with the movement. There we go. Okay, so now these panels we're going to, and that's all the cutting and scoring. Ooh, we survived that. Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to grab my bone folder. I got a little... I got ink on here, what that is. There we go. Okay, so on these outside ones, I'm going to fold these in to make my gatefold. I'll bring this one around. And then I just make sure my middle pieces are flush against each other, that one's not overlapping another. So there's the gatefold. Now we want to take these two pieces, and this is where I just kind of play with it a little bit just to get these moving. So we're going to make these outside ones be mountain. So we're just kind of pinching them, and I just give it a little crease there with my fingers just to get it going. Okay, and then same thing on these. You're going to just pinch them a little bit just to get that center panel to pop out. And then this is where now I can start kind of just pressing down on it, kind of shifting it either way just to get those creases nice and crisp. And then again, we'll just kind of flip this around. Oops, I got to go. Is it going to let me? I think I got, oh, here, I got to go this way. And then just to kind of hold these. Okay, so now you've got your pop out. So again, the more you kind of play with it, it'll start to move around for a little bit for you. So this is the front, and then this is the back. But you can totally, if you want it to flip it around, you can change it. You can change how you do it. But we're going to start. So I'm going to close this. So this is my front. And we are going to adhere our panels. So I'm going to do my outside panels with this, oh my gosh, what was this called again? Country Woods Designer Series paper. So this is the front. So it has that nice kind of woodwork, kind of colored, kind of looks like a boardwalk, peach color, wood front or whatever you want to call it. And then the back is kind of like that misty moonlight kind of wood grain with it. So we're going to go ahead and attach those to our panels. And again, these were that 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. And when you're cutting your paper for these, always make sure, because they're going to be mirroring each other, that you continue the pattern going across. So just kind of pay attention to your pattern paper when you're cutting it, when you're doing gatefold cards. So I just want to make sure I'm centered in there. Okay, there's the one. And my card base for this one is gray granite that I'm using for my cardstock. Where on this one, I did that new basic beige, so you can kind of see the difference in the colors. They're completely different. And this is a lot, the basic beige is, I want to say it's lighter than the old Sahara sand. I think if I've got, I think this is old Sahara sand. Yeah, so the basic beige, I don't know if you can see this on the camera, this is a lot lighter than the Sahara sand that retired last year. So just as an FYI. But the new basic beige, there's an ink pad and cardstock in that color, and I think there's some ribbon too, so it's a nice color. All right, so these are going to be my inside panels, and then that's the other side of the paper, so it's more of the darker wood, but I'm going to do this kind of petal pink and gray granite color combination for my inside panels. All right, so now for our rectangle panels, those I had done, again, remember you needed 8 of them, and these were 1 3/4 by 1 1/4. And again, if you want to decorate the back, it's totally optional. I just thought it continued and made the card look a little bit more complete. So these will be on these panels. So again, this was that back side of what I had used on my front. All right, and we'll flip it over, and we're going to do our back ones. And if you want a little bit narrower border, you can definitely increase the size of these, you know, by 1/8 of an inch or whatever. Which I think I cut, this one needs to be cut. It's too long. So these should have been 1, oh no, that's right, 1 3/4. Why does it look like it doesn't? Oh, it does fit. I'm just looking at it weird. It must have just been the angle. There we go. Oh, it was just me looking at it funny, because these are all, yeah, 1 3/4. Okay. Psyching myself out. Right, and the last one. All right, so now we go back to our inside of our card. All right, so now I've got, for my little rectangle side panels, again, I did 4 of these, and these were going to be 3/4 of an inch by 2 1/4. Totally optional. So you've got kind of that pool party on the one side, and the other side is more of a, like a crumb cake kind of wood grain. Yeah, I love any type of kind of wood grain paper. It's good masculine paper sometimes too, and to use. So I think on this one, okay, I'll still keep the pool party showing. So again, this was the back of the card. I said you might as well decorate the back because it's a display card, so people can see the front and the back on this one when it's open. That's kind of fun. So, all right. So there's our outside, and we open it up, and then the back on there. So now we're going to go ahead and put our panels on. So these are the pop-ups. So these were 2 of them, and you can do cardstock or paper depending on what you're doing for your center focal piece. But that needs to be 1 3/4 by 2 1/4. So I was going to do this. It was some retired specialty paper, and then I ran it through the basics embossing folder. It's got these looks like little starfish on here, and these are online only. There's a 3-pack. You get the polka dots, and there's like a crosshatch one. It all comes together for those. So those are online only in the Stampin' Up store on my, and I'll put my link in the description here afterwards. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of liquid glue on the specialty paper because it has more of a, it's kind of like a plastic background. Kind of a weird texture, so sometimes the liquid glue works a little bit better. So we'll just put that in that center panel. I got a little overzealous with my gluing there. So we'll just wipe that off. All right, and then the petal pink will go on the back. And that's just for my, and this is totally optional. If you want to just leave this blank and do your message in there, you certainly can. I'm just doing it to just add a little bit more color to my back. There. Okay, so that is all of the panels, putting everything together. So now the fun part is, you know, the decorating and going to town. So we are going to, I'm going to show you the new Seaside Wishes stamp set and embossing folder. It's a hybrid embossing folder. So the bundle comes with the embossing folder with, this is a hybrid one. So what I mean by hybrid is that it will emboss and die cut at the same time. So in your folder, what you do is the side that has the logo, that is the side that you put the die cut face up, so the edge is face up, and it's just going to nest. It'll lock in place. Oops, and I just pop it right back up. So just kind of get it nested in place. And then you're going to take your cardstock. So this is that basic beige. And on this one, because this folder, this die goes pretty close to the edge, my paper is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, because I want to make sure I'm getting that entire image within my folder. And I just kind of turn it over and I give it a little spot check just to make sure I'm not too close to the edge. So like I said, so you've got that logo on the bottom, you put your die face up, then you place your paper on top, and I line up my paper so that it's kind of flush with that line that is on the folder. And then I'm going to close it. Okay. And then we're going to run this through. Got to make some room here because I got to bring in my die cutting. Okay, we're going to zoom out just a titch here. Okay, and I need And when you do this, I have put it in either, you know, this is like the back of the folder. You just want to make sure that this spine is going through first. So I've done it this way, and I've also done it this way. I don't think it really, at least I haven't found that it matters yet. I've done it both ways. So, and then I'm gonna put my adapter plate on top. So now you have your embossed images. It's got that little bit of texture, and they're die cut out. And then this piece, again, if you pay attention to, you know, your borders here, you can use this piece then to make a card, and that's what I did. So I took this piece and I glued it onto the card base, and then I took my sand dollars and then just popped them up with dimensionals in a different color. So that's another way of using the piece that you die cut, because it's got some texturizing on it, so you can still utilize this. You can use this for like a shaker card, would be really fun. And then again, it cuts out your 3 sand dollars, which are kind of fun, that you can decorate then. All right, so that, and then you can also just use this as like a normal embossing folder and not die cut it, so you can do that too. But so that's what a hybrid embossing folder does, which is kind of fun. And then the other dies that come in here, you also get, and I just wanted to show these, how I die cut them, because it's another little quick tip to show you. It has these really pretty intricate dies, and then it has your 2 different starfish, and then these 3 little like seaweed pieces, and then you get, of course, your sand dollars that you die cut out, and then the stamp set that coordinates with it. So all of that's in that new bundle, which is kind of another fun. I love anything like sea and beach-like. So I'm going to show you a quick tip on how to cut these out so that you don't get a hot mess of like little pieces everywhere. So what you want to do is you're going to take a bounce fabric sheet, and you just need 1. And I just kind of keep it, you know, folded like that, how it comes out. And then you will emboss as normal, or die cut, I should say. So you can put your cutting mat. You're going to take, I had a little piece, oh, here it is. I guess I really only need the 1. I think this is what will fit on here. Okay, so you'll put your dryer sheet down first. You'll put your cardstock right on top of the dryer sheet, and then your die face down, and then you'll do your cutting mat. So any type of intricate dies, and I just run it back just to make sure I got everything. Look at that. No pieces are stuck in here. And then you lift this up. Da, 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 da. Look at that. No poking. And it's all here on the dryer sheet. So super fun tip for any of your intricate dies. So again, and you can use it several times, you know, just kind of use it in different places and stuff. So you can use it multiple times, and then you just kind of peel this off on there. But so that's my new little tip for you. So make sure you grab those bounce dryer sheets, and of course I did the free and gentle because I didn't want it to be smelly. But like I said, here's one where I mean, that's how many times I used it, and I still have space over here. And you can go over it again. You just sometimes get that little impression behind. So I think that is all my die cutting that we're going to do. So we'll set that aside. All right, so now let's go ahead and let's decorate our panel, our front. So I was going to take a large sand dollar, and I was going to use another one that I've already kind of got cut and colored on that one. And I'll show you how I'm going to do the gilded leafing on this one. And then I think we'll do that little piece that we just had. And I think, oh no, I think I might do my blue, the darker blue. Because these are some, I'm going to do the Misty Moonlight. I've got some of that already die cut, and this I already had die cut and stamped, so we'll just kind of do that. And then I think we'll just grab one of my mini little starfish. Maybe we'll do, we could do this little one. Yep. I just went to town and die cut a bunch of stuff the other day. Okay, so to show you how I decorate my sand dollar, because I want to give it a little bit of color. So I'm going to take, so this is that new basic beige. And I'm going to take a blending brush. And I'm using my silicone max. I'm just going to kind of, so that's kind of the color. I mean, it looks weird, but it's a nice neutral. I'm just going to tap off to get some of that excess ink off. And then I'm just going over the edges, applying a little bit of pressure when I want it to be darker. Okay, and then it does lighten up a little bit, so if you get a little too heavy-handed, it'll kind of fade a little bit. All right, and then my gilded leafing I want to show you, just because this is retiring. I'm so bummed because I just had bought new stuff. So I'm like, my thing is all filled up now. Oh well, I'll still continue to use it. So the gilded leafing, this is on the after April 30th, it'll be gone, but it is on sale. It's this super fine foil, and you just need like a tacky glue so that you can use your liquid glue. A lot of times I find just using a glue pen is like a quick and easy way of doing it because this dries fairly quickly. But you're just gonna kind of add this glue pen. Just draw a few little marks with the glue. And then you want to wait just a few seconds because you want it to get tacky before you put it into the gilded leafing. So I just kind of press it in, and I always pour mine into another container just to control the madness a little bit. And then you're going to pick up a piece, and then I just sit here and burnish. I should have waited a little bit longer. I don't think my glue was quite tacky enough, but. And then you can just rub it off with your fingers. But for today's purposes, that works pretty good. So now it just has a little bit of that glimmer with that gold. And then you can always take like a stipple brush or a sponge if you need to burnish more. But with my fingers, this was such a small area. That's all you really needed. All right, so there's that. And I need to get some dimensionals. Brand new pack. And then let's see here. Do I have any of the, I think I was going to do these. My seaweed pieces. And then maybe I will change up I will see what my starfish will be. But all right, so on my front, I know I'm only going to be gluing on this left panel to begin with. Okay, so I want to do these pieces. I'm going to glue these down first. So on these, I am going to be using this liquid glue because this is that kind of metallic paper. so knowing my sand dollar is going to go in the center, I'm just going to kind of tuck this behind like so, and we'll just glue that down. And then we'll do this other one there. And then a lot of times, I don't know if I got another one. No, I don't. I think on this one I did double layer it. Oh, I did. I sometimes, just to give this a little bit more stability, I tend to double up that the sand dollar image, but I've only got this big one cut once, so we'll just do the one. So I'm just going to put dimensionals then on the back half of the sand dollar. So again, just kind of holding this in place. I know I'm just going to stick one here, and I'll do 4 just to give it a little bit more stability. And then just make sure your things aren't showing. All right, and then this one. So on this one, what I did is I inked up the embossing folder itself and then put the cardstock in and then ran it through the machine. I did a video on how to do your inking your embossing folders with that in my other technique series. So that is going to go here. Something like that. So again, this one, I really only need adhesive. And I think on this one, because I do have another one cut, I'm going to double layer these just to give this one a little bit more support. So one of these isn't colored. It's just the petal paint die cut. And then we just want to make sure, let's see here. There we go. And this is optional. Again, this is just me being me, and I go to the post office and I'm like, I need to hand cancel all of my cards so that they don't get crushed or ripped up when they go through the postage. So I pay a little bit more for postage, but at least now I know my cards will survive the mail when I do the hand canceling. All right, and I'm going to add a little bit of tear and tape on here just to hold this in place. Where is the end of my tear and tape? So on here, I only need it on this top part. Okay, that looks good. And then again, this piece, I probably should have stuck that behind. Oh, that should be fine. We'll go like that. Actually, maybe I need the smaller one. Okay, so that I know I'm just going to put a dimensional on the back of this one, I think. Do I want to? I just got to make sure here. Do I need 2? I think that'll be okay. So then I just have the dimensional on, kind of holding that together. And then because this is so intricate, I'm just going to put another dimensional then here And then because I've got the 2, I'm probably going to have to double this side up too. I'll see here if I will need the extra height. Yep, I think I do need to double these up. So this will get double dimensionals. Like that. But then doing it this way, I don't have to worry about doing the fine tip glue on these little intricate dies. So then this will just be popped up right there. And we're not too bulky. Dimensional squish down, so those are fine. And then I've got, I think, one little guy here. We're gonna do this one. Glue him down. And we can just plop that right there. And a lot of times I'll take a block and just kind of hold this in place. All right, so there is the front. Fun. And then for my inside, I think on this one, what I'll do is I already had some of my little starfish stamped. So I may, let's see here, what else do I got? And I've got, maybe I'll bring in this little pool party one. So I'm going to double this up again just to give this a little bit of support so that my little arms aren't flailing around. Again, this is optional. I just like to have a little bit more support. And then that'll be there. And then we'll do one of these. And again, I'm just going to, if I've got another blank one, otherwise I'll just glue it down. I thought I had one already doubled up. Oh, maybe I don't. Okay, that'll be fine. All right, so on here, we're just going to do glue on all of these, except for this little tip on the one arm. And I'm just going to kind of keep that at an angle. Put our block down just because this is that textured paper. And sometimes it takes just a moment to be glued in place. All right. And then I'll take my little guy. So again, I had stamped on, this is that basic beige, and I stamped with Pool Party, and then this one was with the Misty Moonlight. And then I have a little bit of these retired sea glass pieces that we sold a few years ago, but I still had some of these left. So I'm just going to throw a few of these on here, because what's nice about this is it's actually, you know, it's protected, so it's not going to punch through your envelope or anything. Whoops. Do a few of those on the inside. All right, and then my back I will just leave as is, and then I think I will just to kind of complete, I'm going to add a couple more of these pieces on the front just because I have them. Might as well use them up here. So we'll do, I'm still going to do this Pool Party. Let's do one there. There we go. All right, so that is the pop-up gatefold card. So the first of many gatefold variations that I will be sharing with you during the month of May. So I am actually going to be traveling for work this week, so I don't know if I'll be able to get a chance to get things back and ready for my next video for this coming weekend. But anyway, stay tuned. So make sure you like and subscribe to my channel so that when I do upload one, you get notified. And again, I appreciate you and thanks for stopping by, and I will stamp again with you soon. Bye-bye.